Precision, accuracy and control is what you get with this selection tool, and mastering it will elevate you from beginner to pro in Photoshop designing. Today we are going to take this image and remove the background using the mighty pen tool. Yes, you heard it right. We'll also be exploring the different options available with the pen tool. So without wasting any more time, let's get to work. Hello everyone, welcome to Dexplorion. If you are new here on this channel, I'm Didi and I'm all about designing in Photoshop and sharing the process with you. This is the new series on background removal where we take up a new image every time and try to remove the background in the most efficient way. And in the process, we will discuss different tools, techniques and tips and tricks which will elevate your graphic design game and improve your workflow. As I always say, there are no right or wrong ways of doing things in Photoshop. It's only the results that matter and the time and effort taken to achieve those results, and my goal is to minimize them to the extent possible. If you ask me, pen tool is the most powerful selection tool. It gives you extreme precision and control over the selection area. It's completely manual and you can achieve the results the way you want, and this is the reason I love this tool so much. It gives you complete freedom. But this freedom comes with a cost, and the cost is time. It's a little bit of time consuming affair, and also there is a little learning curve in using the pen tool, but once you get hold of this tool, it's so much fun. Frankly, I even don't use it very often because of the time constraint, unless I am doing something just for creative purpose or the client's project demand that level of precision and your paycheck justifies your efforts. But as you know, nothing is perfect in this world, and so is this tool. We can use it in those cases where there is clearly defined boundary or hard edges. We cannot use it in fur or hair selections. Okay, enough of theory, let's do some practicals. Let's first get some basics of the pen tool, and for that we will be using a blank white canvas, and then we will be moving on to the selection process. But if you already know the pen tool and you are here just for the background removal process, then here's the time step for you. To activate the pen tool, we have to click here, or you can press the P key on the keyboard as the shortcut. And here in the options bar, we get few options which we will be discussing now. First, in the drop down, we get two options, shape and path. Let's select the shape first and draw a simple shape by simply clicking at 4 points on the canvas. And if we select the path and draw the same, we get just the path. You can consider it as just an outline which we draw on paper while painting something. And now you have two options here. Either you can make a selection out of it, or you can make a shape with it. You can make it selection by clicking here, or you can right click inside the selection and click here on make selection. Here in the layers panel we can find the shape, but we can't find the selection here because it's a path, not a shape. We will find it in the paths tab. This is the path for the selection we made, and this is the path for the shape we made earlier. So what's the difference between a shape and a path? A shape is a path with a fill, that's all. Let's undo some steps by pressing Ctrl or Command Z. Next we have fill and strokes here. Fill is the color of the shape. We can change the color by double clicking here on the shape layer icon and choose any color, and now we have the same color here, and when we draw the next shape, it has got the same color and we can change it in the same way. By default, strokes is set to none. If we select a color here, and now when we draw, we get a border around our shape. And if we set the fill to none, we can have only the strokes. Here we adjust the thickness of the strokes, and from here we can have different styles of the stroke lines. Go ahead and play around and explore some more options here. Here we can adjust width and height of our shape separately, and if we click on this chain like icon here, it will link the height and width, and whenever we change any of the value, the other one also changes accordingly. Let's select all these layers by clicking on the topmost layer and hold the shift key and click on the bottom layer and press delete key. Now we'll be exploring the path operations here. By default it is set to a new layer, which means every time we draw a new shape, it will be on a new layer. But if we select the combine shape here and draw a new shape like this, it will combine both the shapes together and place it in a single layer, but still they are two separate shapes. Now if we click on the subtract front shape, this portion will get subtracted. Let's undo a step, and now if we click on intersect shape area, and we only have the common intersecting area, and if we click on the exclude overlapping shape, it will exclude the common area of the two shapes. Lastly, if you click on the merge shape components, all of these will get merged into a single shape and you have a completely new shape. And now we'll be moving on to the selection procedure. We'll now be exploring the three types of pen tool we have here, and for that we are going to use the simple image of an egg. The first one is the simple pen tool. For making a selection, we have to change it to a path and click on the point, and it will place an anchor point there. To make a smooth selection, our task will be to use as less anchor points as possible. I will click here to place the second point and simultaneously drag the cursor to bring up these handles. These handles control the amount of curve. The more you drag, the more will be the curve. You can drag it in whatever way you want, but if you want to drag it in a straight line, just hold the shift key while dragging, and in the same way, add one more point. To complete the path, we have to place the cursor over the starting point, and we will see a small circle appearing next to the cursor, indicating the completion of the path. Just click to close. But our selection is not at all what we want. Don't worry, we are not over yet. Hover over the anchor points and holding the Alt or Option key again, drag to bring up the handles. Leave the Alt or Option key and again press it, and now you can move the handles on either side individually without affecting the other side. And in this way, align the path with the edges of the subject. At any point of time, if you think that a particular anchor point is not necessary or it's better off that way, you can delete the anchor points. For that, hover over the point and you will see a minus symbol next to the cursor. Just click on the point to delete it. You can also add an anchor point. For that, hover over the path where you want to place the point and you will see a plus sign next to the cursor. Click on the path to add a point. But if we zoom in, we can see that we haven't placed the point properly. We can also change the position of the anchor. For that, hold the Ctrl or Command button and click and hold the anchor and drag it to place it where we want it to be. So always remember to change the anchor point, hold the Ctrl or Command key, and for the handles, hold the Alt or Option key. Now we have to make a selection. You can click here on the Make Selection, and this dialog box will appear, and here we have the option to make our selections edges hard or smooth. If we increase the feather radius, click OK and then add the layer mask. This is what happens. The edges will be smooth. Let's undo two steps, and again we have to make the selection. You can also do it by right clicking inside the path and click here on Make Selection, and this time bring down the feather value all the way down to 0 and add the layer mask, and now the edges of the selection is sharp. Let's undo again and press Ctrl or Command D to deselect, and now we will be working with the Curvature Pen tool. If you have a subject with only curves in it, like we have here, you can use this tool. You simply click at a point to start and go on like this to complete the path, and click on different points and just drag them to align with the edges. And after completing the path, we have two more options here, which is also available for the other pen tool. If you want to add the layer mask, you can directly click here and the mask is automatically created. And if you want to create a shape with this path, then click here and a new shape layer will be created. Let's take a little more complex shape and try make the path, and for that we will take the normal pen tool and start making the path. But before that, I want to show you another cool feature. While placing the next anchor point, we don't know where our path is going and we simply click on Assumption. But there is an option in Photoshop which can help you guide while doing that. To access that option, you have to click on this machine wheel like icon and click to check on this box saying Rubberband. If you want, you can also change the color of the path you are making from here. Okay, another thing, if you lost track of the path accidentally, you don't have to start all over again. Just hover over the last anchor point and you will notice a chain-like symbol next to the cursor. Just click and continue with your path. And now, if you proceed to make the next point, you will notice the path is also moving with the cursor. I personally find it very helpful and keep it all on all the time. Here we have to make a sharp downward turn with the path, and normally we cannot do it properly. In such cases we have to break the handle. And how do we do that? Yes, by holding the Alt or Option key and break the handle like this. Let's complete our path. Now we will be aligning the edges. And here we have our path and we will make the selection. Oh no, where is our selection? Don't worry, it's not gone. If you come across a similar situation, just go to the Paths tab and you will find your path. To activate it, hold the Controller Command key and click on the path icon here and your selection will be back. And now when we click on the Add Layer Mask button, we have a nice selection. And now we will take up today's image and use the third pen tool, which is Freeform Pen tool. It's kind of like the lasso tool but with the anchor points, which gives us all the control over the selection. We'll simply draw along the edges of the subject and it will automatically add the anchor points. Just like the magnetic lasso tool which we discussed in our last video in the series, here also we get a similar option. We just have to click on the checkbox to activate that. And another thing I forgot to mention, if you accidentally put some anchor points here and there, you can move the cursor backwards and hit the back button to delete them. You can also manually click to add anchor points, just like the magnetic lasso tool. Let's align the edges. We will make the selection and add the layer mask. And now for these areas, we will take the brush tool, select the hard round brush, make sure the foreground color is black, and we will paint on these areas to hide behind the mask. If you accidentally paint a little in excess and need it back, just change the foreground color to white by pressing the X key and paint over those areas to get it back. And here we have our subject and the background is removed. There are 3 ways of improving yourself and mastering the pen tool. Practice, practice and practice. There is no other way, so practice a lot with different types of images. Hope you like this video, and if you want to see my creation with this image, you can watch this video. You can find it by clicking on the I button above, and the link of the same will be given in the description as well. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and for more such videos, please subscribe to the channel. You can also connect with me on Pinterest and Instagram. Links are given in the description below. Stay tuned as I'll be right back with a new image and a new tool. Till then, take care, goodbye, and keep nurturing your creative spirit.